NASCAR at Homestead, Formula One at Austin has wrapped up and the ratings are out. Now, while Formula One absolutely killed NASCAR in terms of attendance, over 440,000 people attended the US Grand Prix over the weekend, making it the most attended F1 race in history, I believe, while Homestead could even be sold out. So obviously F1 beat NASCAR in that category, but it looks like in terms of the ratings, which is for sponsorships, and if you want to cater to your TV networks, ratings is the name of the game. And NASCAR at the moment looks like it trumps F1 big time. First things first, the NASCAR Cup Series race on NBC at Homestead garnished 2.31 million viewers, 425,000 of them being in the 18 to 49 demographic with a 1.42 rating. Now this is 10% over last year's race at this point in time, but that was Kansas on NBCSN, so you can't really make a correlation to that. F1, on the other hand, they were a lot lower. 1.1 million viewers with only 360,000 people in the 18 to 49 demographic. Now, what's interesting about this is that last year's F1 rating at COTA was a 0.72 rating. This year's was 0.64 and it had 1.2 million viewers. So it was down by 100,000. However, while it may seem like a massive drop, you have to keep in mind that F1 includes the pre-race show. Not including the actual race itself. The pre-race show began at 1:30 while the race began at 3 o'clock. So you still had 1.5 hours of pre-race coverage. Obviously that will lower the average. However, even if you just put in the race coverage, it still will not be enough to beat NASCAR. Now, it may slightly beat NASCAR in the 18 to 49 demographic since there's just around 100,000 viewership gap between the two in the 18 to 49 demographic. So F1 might beat NASCAR at that level, but of course, overall viewership, NASCAR still reigns supreme. To me, I'm actually kind of shocked by this. I thought for sure with the Miami GP, it got like 2.6 million viewers on ABC. Even though Darlington was on FS1, that's where the competition was, I thought for sure with the amount of momentum that F1 had in America, I thought for sure it would eventually take over NASCAR. But surprisingly, NASCAR still is the #1 spot. Granted, lots of NASCAR fans are in the mid 40s and 50s. That's the majority of the fan base, while F1 has one of the highest fan bases in terms of the 18 to 49 demographic. So F1 still beats them there. But I thought the gap would be a lot closer than what we eventually saw. Even if you just put in the race coverage of the event, it will still not even get 2 million. It maybe get 1.6, 1.7 million viewers. I'm guessing around that area. While it may be good in terms of if you're NASCAR, like, hey, we're beating F1, still, if you look at the attendance from the US Grand Prix was absolutely incredible. And the fact that you could only get 2.3 million viewers on NBC, again, that's very concerning. I do again think it's not a good idea to go up head to head with the NFL and just stop right before the NFL season. But very interesting to see what would the 2025 schedule be like, because I believe with the current TV package, which ends in 24, we're going to have 36 races until 2024. In 2025, when we have a new TV deal, then more than likely you're going to see a reduction of races at the earliest in 2 years. And speaking of a change to the NASCAR schedule, we're going to go to Europe, not Formula One, but NASCAR. The NASCAR Whelen Euro Series released their 2023 schedule, and it's got one major event that we do need to talk about. 8 countries the Whelen Euro Series will be attending to next season: in Spain, the UK, Italy, Czech Republic, Germany, Belgium, with an all-star race in Croatia. However, you see, of course, the big thing we're going to be talking about, March 4th to 5th, Finland, a NASCAR Arctic ice race. That's right, for the first time in history, I'm pretty sure it's for the first time in history, NASCAR will be racing on ice in the snow in Finland. Guarantee you Kimi Räikkönen is going to come out of retirement just to try this race. I mean, I want to watch this race. Now, this is nothing new. If you remember, I think it was last year, there was a small video clip posted by the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series social media pages. They did a single car test, tryout, whatever you want to call it, run on ice, or in the snow at least, and it was pretty successful. Now, Red Bull also had their own NASCAR Cup car race on ice years ago in Austria. So again, this is nothing new. Like, this is not like it's never been heard of, but still, it does bring up the question, could this be something for the future? Right now, it's a test. This is a test. NASCAR racing on ice. Could we potentially see in 2024, 2025, the Cup Series race on ice. There is a quote by Steve Phelps, NASCAR president, that said a few weeks ago this: "Our 2024 schedule will probably be the most aggressive schedule we've ever had in terms of continued variation with new markets / tracks." That's a very vague statement and opens up for a lot of possibilities. I mean, we have a street race. I mean, we have a dirt race, where the only option I can think of is international races. Could it be possible? Could it be possible that depending on how this goes with the Whelen Euro Series next March, if it's successful, could we possibly see the Cup Series race on ice or in the snow? As it will be an exhibition race, there's no way in hell you can make it a points-paying race. But I'm just saying, if it works, and a lot of people are going to be tuning in to this Arctic ice race just to get an idea of what stock cars on ice would be like. If that works, do not be surprised if you see in the very near future the Cup Series raced in the snow in an exhibition race. Maybe it would be very cool, to be honest, for as like a Christmas celebration. Maybe the week before Christmas, you send out the Cup guys out to some Arctic ice area, maybe up in Finland, Norway, wherever, somewhere where it's very, very cold, or Canada, and just go race on ice if it works. Because I would love to see that. Now, the only way I would want that to happen is if you take away races. I would be okay with an Arctic ice race in, let's say, December if you cut the season to September instead of racing it from February to November, because we have way too many races at the moment. We need to shorten that. I would love a shorter schedule, much more variation, and having a race on ice, it just sounds cool. But of course, seeing something and thinking about something and actually having it work in real life are two completely different things. So I'm very interested to seeing how that Arctic ice race is going to turn out. And like I said, if it goes well, don't be surprised if you see the Cup Series race on ice in the snow in the very near future.